Hi everyone.
Burp.
It's great. Today,
Yeah, I tried to keep it contained.
Maya's gonna be doing my makeup. I don't really have much makeup. I quite literally only put on mascara and like do my eyebrows when
But
I
you
do
have
it. So.
eyeshadow, and that's really good.
Yes, I have, yeah.
Do you have concealer?
No. We are going to be talking about the weird incest trope in very common, well-known media.
Not incest, like actual incest. Sometimes. Most of the time, the adopted brother.
Something,
Or
you know,
step sibling, or like
you
there's
know.
not a biological relation, but it's still icky. I think like only time I could consider it appropriate
Yeah.
is in a non-biological relation at all situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where your relationship came first.
And we do talk about that in
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
Okay. Delightful.
It's the thing where it's like, I am lying, hear me
fuzz on like every single
like,
the makeup that you own.
some
Like, how did you
trash.
get fuzz on your eyebrow pencil?
I have no idea.
It's your eyebrows falling out.
Probably. How do we judge what is acceptable and what isn't in the case of a brother and sister who are both sterile? There won't be any inbred children.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, well obviously that's good because we don't want inbred children.
It did come off on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild. No, because you're right, because there is like is it actually something we need to be concerned about morally, or is it purely a question of eugenics?
Yeah.
It's well known that, you know, procreating with biological relatives is likely to like chromosomal defect.
Mm-hmm.
But is that the only reason why it's bad? This is a It Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Full Coverage Anti-Aging Waterproof Concealer. What we've used to fill in Gabby's eyebrows is L'Oreal.
L'Oreal.
I
That's
don't
it.
even think they saw that.
I'm just gonna end up cutting this part out because none of my
Come on.
subscribers are looking at this shit. I think we should start off with the one that you and I know the most about, which would be the Fosters. For those of you that don't know, you have Steph and Lena. Brandon is Steph's child.
Biological child from a previous marriage.
Yes.
Steph and Lena are now married,
Yes.
and they adopted
They adopted Jesus and Mariana,
twins,
and then they're fostering Callie and Jude.
which
Callie and Jude are biological siblings.
Callie and Brandon just immediately portrayed
Like,
as potential love interests.
Yeah.
Right from the get-go.
Brandon and Callie, yeah, they go through like ups and downs, being like, we can't do this, we can't do this, we can't do this, we can't do this.
But they know it's wrong.
Yeah, but
Like-
they're like, oh, the love is just too strong. Foster's file for adoption for Jude and Callie. Jude's goes through, I think, without any, issue. But it was like Callie's like biological dad actually still in the picture and is like, I kind of want to do with her, blah blah blah. Jude has a different biological dad.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
Yeah.
You're right.
She was kind of worried, like, oh shit, like, is this gonna go through? So on like the night before the adoption, or like the night after like the first hearing day for the adoption, she's like, I'm never gonna get adopted, it's never gonna be approved. And then she and Brandon finally have sex. Sure enough, her adoption does go through. I'm pretty sure they did tell their foster parents, because their foster moms, because they were like,
They either told them or it came
They
out
found-
like
yeah.
they did something sketchy or whatever. It's icky, it's weird. They don't end up together. Thank God. It is like
but it was like
frowned
a very,
upon.
very long plot.
No, it's
point
like
for
the
them.
first plot point. They end up dating other people.
First and longest.
And even their significant others bring up the fact that they're like
Yeah, that is weird.
interested in each other. The more you think back on it, the more you're like, we let that happen.
Clueless is the next big one.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm. They were step siblings, but they're not anymore. So like technically this should be the most okay situation where that happens, but still, because
They weren't like in the same household, raised as siblings.
Yeah,
to
I'm
some
like,
degree.
I don't like that.
Even if you weren't like romantically or sexually interested in the person when you first knew them, those experiences are still gonna play into your relationship somehow.
Mm-hmm.
So like the idea of being like, oh my God, remember that really funny thing you did at like the family memorial barbecue?
yeah.
Like, that's weird.
Yes, you're being, raised as siblings, so automatically, I don't know how you could be like, I
You're
heard they're cute.
attractive.
Oh, like
No.
you have to be like, ew.
Even
but I'm like,
step there's a barrier. It
I'm
should
like-
be a barrier.
Cher, and I have no idea what his name is.
All red.
No, I know it's Paul Rudd. Where is he?
Josh. His name's
Oh,
Josh.
Josh. Their parents were married, so they were step siblings, and then they got divorced, so no longer step siblings. So technically, yeah, it's like, okay. But at the very end of the video, Cher is like, "Ah, it's him. It's Josh who I'm actually in love with. Oh my God. And then they like get together.
It's one of those, like, I've been in love with him all along, but
Yeah.
you were siblings.
Yeah, what define all along.
Icky.
I'm not a fan. The next one that I know the most about is Cruel Intentions. Movie from the 90s, Sarah Michelle Gellar and Ryan Phillip and Reese Witherspoon.
You have one eyeshadow brush?
Yep. Ryan's character and Sarah's character, they are step siblings, I believe, and they have this weird, very weird sexual tension. She like lays on him in one scene and like gives him blue balls. And
that's not real, by the way.
It's Reese Witherspoon's character who's like goody two shoes, good girl, virgin, like never done anything, blah blah blah. So he makes this bet with Sarah Michelle Gellar, and he's like, listen, if I can take Reese's virginity, he's like, I get to like sleep with you or something like that. Yeah. And then she's like, okay, well, if you lose, like, I get your car or like something like random like that. And I could be completely butchering this, but it's something like very completely bizarre. Like, it's really funny because, oh wait, it's actually not funny, but it's ironic because I'm pretty sure at the very end of the movie, spoiler alert, he like saves Reese from like getting hit by a car. And of course he gets hit by the car and then he fucking dies. He kept a book of every person that he had sex with. So he like had that all written down.
Book.
Yeah, like Sarah Michelle Gellar is giving this talk at her school because of course everybody, you know, attends the funeral or the wake or whatever. And all of a sudden everybody's like, oh my gosh, like come outside. And you like walk out and she's like, what is going on? Like exposes like all like the bad stuff that she's done. It's just crazy because like Sarah has her downfall and it's just like, what the hell? It's really nice that the two of them don't end up together, but it just sucks that like the entire movie is based on the premise that it's like, if you win this bet, we can fuck.
Downton Abbey is, I think, a very good TV show. The beginning is there's this royal family. Why are they royal? I don't know. They're not like the queen and whatever, but they're aristocrats. Aristocrats in England in like the early 1900s. And the Titanic happens, and because of that, the two heirs of this estate called Downton Abbey die in the Titanic. And this man who runs the estate only had daughters. So there's like cousins or some like weird distant relative. But they're the only heirs to the estate. So the issue is they're like, who the hell gets it now? Because they don't know who else is down the line. It's some random third cousin's son of a whatever, and he gets the estate. And so immediately the family tries to set up the eldest daughter with this cousin. That's the entire first season. They do eventually get together and they have a singular child, and it's a son, and the husband, the cousin Matthew.
I was like, does he have issues?
He like was in World War I and got paralyzed and then just like recovered, and they just kind of pretend like it didn't happen. But then he thought he couldn't have kids because he was told when he was paralyzed that his ejaculate wouldn't do its job. So then he did have kids, and he like literally,
sperm won't squirm.
Yeah, so he survived the hospital. He was like, oh my god, she's like, it's a boy. And he's like, wow, we secured an heir. Like, so elated, so excited in fact that he drives himself home a little too fast, gets into a car accident, and dies. He dies on the same day that the heir is born. But they really get you so mixed up in it that you are rooting for them. And that is, like, not appropriate. The child isn't old enough for me to know yet whether or not he's gonna have issues. They're always trying to pin, it's like a royal thing. They have it in Bridgerton, too.
Do they really?
Yeah.
The next one on the list is Crimson Peak. It is also revealed that Thomas has an incestuous relationship with his sister who seduced him at a young age, and that Lucille, I believe the sister, also conspired to free them and never be apart by killing their own mother, who had discovered the sibling sexual relationship. Left with the house to tend to, the two clung to their cursed surroundings and began the plots of marriage and slaying out of necessity. Sir Thomas has truly fallen in love with Edith, this is like a new girl, however, and could not this time bring himself to do the deed. Insane with jealousy and greed, Lucille loses her calm demeanor and becomes a feral killer. So I was right, there was incest in that, because I remember being like, oh, this is some like creepy like movie, and then I'm like, oh.
I thought of another one. A Simple Favor. In Anna Kendrick's character, when her dad dies, she finds out that she has a half-brother. She, like, immediately starts having sex with him. Secretly. And ongoing.
The last one on the list is Gossip Girl. Yep. And Maya found this out.
This is, like, kind of double incest, but also not. And you'll just... double ick. Serena and Dan share a sibling who is apparently their parents' love child. And also, Serena and Dan's parents are, like, in a committed relationship. And Serena and Dan literally get married. But the thing is, it seems like Serena and Dan's parents fell in love after Serena and Dan got together. So not only is this an ick for Serena and Dan, it's an ick for their parents. It's like double way. So it's like Serena and Dan being step-siblings, their parents being icky and getting together with their children's parents, and they literally share a sibling. Could you imagine that family reunion?
IMDb's website. Sort by popularity, most popular... I didn't know you could do this, by the way.
Good night.
Most popular movies and TV shows tagged with keywords stepbrother, stepsister relationship, and brother-sister relationship. The next thing, incestuous relationships on IMDb. Sin of innocence. Widower David marries divorcee Vicky. David's teenage son, Tim, and Vicky's teenage daughter, Jenny, become romantically involved. This makes David and Vicky very uncomfortable and Vicky's ex-husband, Andy, furious. Rightfully so.
Like the adoption thing.
I just watched that.
There's literally...
Oh my god, that had it too! It's a story about this lawyer, Keanu Reeves, who I have no idea what his character's name is.
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, crazy. It's actually a documentary. So he goes to, I think, New York. He has this really good opportunity to work at a really big law firm under Al Pacino. The only thing I think of when I hear Al Pacino is the scene from Jack and Jill where he's like, who you gonna call Dunkachino?
What's my name? Dunkachino! Dunkachino!
And at the very end of the movie, you find out that Al Pacino is actually Keanu's dad, and he's Satan. Keanu is enticed by this one woman at the office, fantasizes about her while he is having sex with his wife. Pacino is trying to persuade Keanu to have sex with the redhead, who is also Pacino's daughter. He's Satan, so he has many kids, and he's trying to get 2 of his kids to, have another child. This one is called Close My Eyes. An estranged brother and sister begin an intense sexual relationship behind the curtain of their otherwise normal working class lives.
Mixing the two, but now we will go where my finger could not.
Only Alex's.
I like porns. Do you imagine if porn, instead of thumbnails, it had like posters?
That would be awesome.
That'd be really funny.
That'd be amazing. Okay, so this one says it's a movie from beginning to end. 2 brothers develop a very close relationship.
2 brothers?
As they are growing up in an idyllic and happy family. When they are young adults, their relationship becomes very intimate, romantic, and sexual. Here's another one, Star-Crossed. 2 brothers develop a sexual attraction to one another amid the unkind world around them.
This is inappropriate because it's perpetuating the idea that gay men are gross or participating in inappropriate or gross sexual activities. They aren't.
Why are there so many videos?
There should have been 0 results when we searched it up.
The fact that there is a category on IMDb that you can look this up.
Maybe there'd be a few, but they were mostly still oh, but this is taboo, you shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah.
Not ones where it's celebrated or the main focus of the film.
Yeah. This one, just a really funny name. Spanking the Monkey. A student is forced by his traveling salesman dad to cancel a top summer internship and look after his hot mom, who's bedridden with a broken leg. Applying lotion to her legs arouses him. Do they review porn on IMDb? I'm is there anything else that we can add and be oh...
You're just gonna cut to your makeup being done.
Alex is is this a carrot? No, Alex, this isn't a fucking carrot. I'm just kidding, I don't mean to be mean to you. Oh no.
We don't support incest.
We also don't support IMDb saying that certain things are incestuous when it's abuse.
Abuse by a family member is still abuse.
Google says incest is sexual relations between people classed as being too closely to marry each other. The crime of having sexual intercourse with a parent, child, sibling, or grandchild.
With that being said,
it's
assault is not sex, it's assault.
Yep.
And therefore, I don't believe it can be incest. She's just covered.
The first thing you're like, I got off your face, and for some cursed reason, I was gonna go, Mommy, wipe my butt.
Have you ever had a facial? No, Gabby.
No, that hasn't.
It was a genuine question.
I know. Bless you.
Gabby's finished look, courtesy of Maya. I'm calling it Where the Brick Meets the Ocean. But again, and I'll do the voice.
Thank you for watching. We really appreciate it.
For future filmmakers, writers, screenplays, let it be heard that we don't think that playing off weird, not incest in films is like a fun dramatic quirk. It doesn't add to the drama, just our deep, deep uncomfortableness.
Yes, and IMDb, please do not categorize
Perks of being a wallflower.
Yeah, Perks being a wallflower, other movies, TV shows where it is abuse that happens as incest. Thank you for watching. We'll be back at some point. See you in the next one. Bye.